Hey guys, welcome to another episode of What You Chatting. Sorry I didn't record last week. I've had a bit of a cold and my throat was very sore last week, so I wasn't able to record a episode. But we're back today. I'm going to try and make this episode about half an hour, and we'll try and fit a few more topics in. So, last time I said that one of the big topics that we would talk about today is upcoming games. Since then, there has been a few more games announced, a few more sort of teased or leaked or whatever. So we're gonna have a bit of a big session over what we can over basically games. I think the first one that we will start with is one I'm very excited for. Me personally, just because I played an older version, and that is Jurassic World Evolution. I think that's what it's called. I'm not 100% sure, so don't quote me on it. It looks very much like another Operation Genesis sort of game. Now, for those of you who don't know what Operation Genesis is, it's basically theme park but with dinosaurs as your attractions, and I spent endless hours on that game. And if I had a disk drive in my PC, I would probably continue to play it today because I enjoy the game that much. So this was announced, or I first saw it appear probably just after Christmas time. Got super excited for it. It wasn't really a very big teaser. It was a cinematic trailer that they released, and that didn't really show anything. But then, obviously, now that the new Jurassic World film has come out, the game is now being hyped up even more. I can't wait to be able to see what it is exactly like. I'm hoping that they've not changed too much. There was a couple of systems that needed updating, obviously, because it was bloody 2000, and just around the year 2000 that this first game came out. And I think it came out sort of as a promo for the third film. It definitely had Spinosaurus in it, a dinosaur that wasn't seen until the third film. So I would have guessed that it would have been a promo or something. But that game, for me personally, was a very good game. So at that time, I was obsessed with theme park games. So it combined two of my favorite things of dinosaurs and theme park. And I'm really hoping that this game lives up to the standard. I will be getting it on PC the day it comes out. I now have my PC with me, which I'm very excited for because now it means I get to bring you guys gameplay videos as well, which means I'm hoping we'll be able to get out three, 4 videos a week, including what you chatting. So it's great. Also, why I've got this in my head, I'm thinking either next week or the week after will be our first episode with a special guest. I'm hoping that my mate Crazy Blocks will do it. We'll get him, and I hope it will be all well. So I hope that he accepts it. Okay, next game I want to talk about is a game that's having a reveal trailer sort of ready for E3 next week, and that is Black Ops 3. 4. It's number 4. Black Ops 4. For those of you who's been at my channel since the beginning, you know Black Ops 3 Zombies is very much this channel's forte. We have done pretty much 95% of my videos are zombies gameplay, and it's something that I'm very hyped for. However, I watched the reveal as an anticipating fan that I am for the franchise to go on in the next step. I was very disappointed. That first trailer for 9 is the map called, set in the gladiator arena sort of thing. I thought that was, I don't know, it didn't advertise zombies in a good light for me. The mutation creature thing that appeared, that seemed very Resident Evil like. And I'm not talking Resident Evil 7, which is a quality game. I'm talking 5 and 6, which were very disappointing for its fan base. So I was disappointed, so I wanted to learn more, so I kept watching. Then we had the trailer for, I believe it's called Voyage of the Dead. I'm not too sure. I can't remember the exact name of the map, but it's set on the Titanic. It introduces our characters. The characters' names I can't remember. I should have probably researched this a bit more before I started recording, but hey ho. I know one's Scarlet. I know. Trust me to notice the fucking female character, but who cares? Yeah, so there's definitely a character named Scarlet in there. This gives us a little bit more background into the character as well. We hear that something about Scarlet's father's research, so I'm guessing that's going to be the general gist of the storyline and where we're going to go from here, somewhere down that path. But that trailer right there looks like classic zombies. Hello, cat. You can push the door open. Do it, kitty. Oh. You can get in. Come on. Hello, kitty. Joined by a cat. Special guest cat. What do you have to say for yourself? Nothing. It's disappointed with life now. Anyway, where was it? Yeah, so this looked a lot more like the classic zombies. And I immediately fell in love with the map. It looks very much like we could be seeing. It just reminded me of Call of the Dead, and I love Call of the Dead. The map design is very different. The ability to access opposite sides of the map through the zip lines or whatever. I know that might not be appearing in this map, but it was very intriguing. We got our first look at the pack punch, or a perk machine, or some sort of machine. And we also got our first look at the box. And the box reminds me very much of Shadows of Evil box. So I'm quite excited for that. Then he talks a little bit more about the mod ability, the ability to make it so that every game can be different. You know, you can have hundreds upon thousands of games. You can mix and match them and make them completely different every game. Jason Blundell then does a very Blundell thing. He walks off the stage, gets to the door, assuming they're signaling somebody to switch. Then he turns round and he says that we also have a third map on release. Everyone's like, oh, right, this is good. So we get 3 maps to introduce the new character storyline. Then he's like, let's just take it back. And I've watched Milo's video and Dalek's reaction videos. And is it, what's the other one? Lex. Sorry, still recovering. Their reaction is fantastic because it's exactly what the fan base needed. And that trailer for Blood of the Dead is the best of all 3. It gives you the characters, it gives you the memorable setting, and I'm pretty sure it's the exact same one, just with those 4 characters in it, rather than I can't think what their crew's called in the timeline. But anyway, so there's that. That is a couple of seconds. 30-second trailer? Captivated the room. Everybody went silent. Everybody cheered once it had been revealed, and it went crazy. The fan base goes crazy, and that's sort of what Treyarch are really good at. And I'm looking forward to it. I will probably play the multiplayer as I've done everyone, and we'll see what happens. Basically, I hope it's a great game. Another thing they announced, actually, was that it will be on the Battle.net for Blizzard's Battle app net thing, where they currently have. Is it Destiny 2? I think is on there as well. So I'm worried, because if that means I can't get it on Steam, does it mean the end of Workshop mods? Which means no more custom maps, stuff like that. So I hope that Steam gets it as well, but I'm just a little bit worried. On to the next one. Sony, I believe today, released their trailer for E3. This contained 3 games that I really want. It contained The Last of Us 2. I believe Days Gone was in there. Possibly Spider-Man. I haven't watched the trailer myself, so I don't know. But I feel as that screenshots that I've seen show those 3. And those 3 are games that I want. Last of Us. Fantastic storyline. In the first game, really engaged me. I really fell in love with the characters. That start, for those of you who have played it, if you haven't played it, then skip about 2 minutes ahead. That start is immense. The way that they immediately take your character and kill his daughter. How you literally have just played as that character. You literally have just wandered around the house, scared, looking for your father, and 5 seconds later, you've been shot, and you are dead. Oh, God. Anyway, ignore that. So, you're dead. Your character's dead. And honestly, when I played it through, I thought that was who was on the cover. I generally thought that's who was on the cover. I thought that was Ellie. Boom. I was like, what the hell? You kill off the poster character already? That's bold. But obviously, then she gets introduced later on. And her character is my favourite. I believe Ellie is fantastic. She's a typical teenager, that is. And obviously, this is now an evolution. She's more of an adult now. She definitely seems as though she hates whoever it is that she's killed in that first trailer that was revealed. Then the second trailer came, and that showed no characters we've seen before. Are we looking at possibly multiple character arcs? Maybe. Naughty Dog, I think, have the capability to do that, and do it successfully. Just because their ability to write storylines is fantastic. I'm looking forward to that game. There isn't really too much in the way of gameplay yet. I don't think, and I'm not sure when the release date is. But that is a game that we have to look out for. If you're a fan of gaming, like anybody who loves a captivating story, there's your game. Spider-Man. Spider-Man looks really good. It looks well crafted. It looks as though you're just going to play a film, which is what you want from a hero film, is it not? Just to be able to play basically a film, a game even, a game. Yeah. Never mind. I'm ill. Leave me alone. So yeah, that looks really good. And then Days Gone. My God, I swear to God, that's been teased for fucking ever. I've seen the amount of times I've been scrolling through Facebook and I've seen, oh look at this zombie game, parkour thing, or how would you react to this? And it's the bit where in the train yard where they're all piling through like the gap in the train under the train and climbing over, and there's millions of them, millions of zombies. That's what a zombie horde would look like, I believe. So that's going to be really interesting. Again, I haven't really seen much in the way of story. I haven't read much on it, but again, another game that looks like we could really, really enjoy. I can't really think of many more. There's Battlefield 5. I'm not really a big Battlefield person. I played 4. I did enjoy 4, and I played a little bit of 1 while it was free. Other than that, it's just another shooter. I'm afraid I was raised as COD, so COD is my choice. I'm afraid I think it's all about that sort of thing. But yeah, I can't really think of any more games. I mean, Spyro's getting the remaster now. Crash Bandicoot still says it's for pre-order on Xbox. I don't know if anyone can update me on that. But if that comes out soon, I'll try and bring you some gameplay of that. But other than, I don't know. I really don't know. I think that's about it for upcoming games. So, let's move on to topic number 2. And I want to talk about Slam Dunk Festival. Wow. This year was fantastic. I enjoyed it more than I enjoyed last year. It was the energy of some of the bands was just whoa. I mean, we went to see the first band because my mate, who wasn't with us but was there, he said he was going to see him. So it was like, okay, there's no one who we want to see on straight away. Let's go check these out. His band, because he is in a band, was wearing all their shirts, Rooftops, if you want to check them out. They got a shout out from a band on the stage. Like, where else would you get that? That immediate connection. I really think that set the tone for the entire day. So I'm going to pick 3 standout moments from the day. Counterparts Mosh Pit, Zebrahead, just in general, and then Paris for me. So, Counterparts Mosh Pit. We are stood as sort of the first line of the mosh pit, and me and Alex, my friend who I actually went with, we were like, this can be a chance, let's get in there. We saw some dude go into the mosh pit within 2 seconds of the first song and come back out because his teeth had not been knocked out. It was mad. There was fucking arms flailing and feet up everywhere. And to be honest, rather than getting involved or even pay attention to their band, the 3 of us just stood watching this pit because it was just, there was a guy in a Rey Mysterio mask who just runs up out of nowhere and kicks this guy in the back, and it's like, why? What the hell is going on? So yeah, that's definitely one of the highlights. The second highlight I picked was Zebrahead. Not just a part of Zebrahead in general. Saw them last year. I didn't know who they were. They were really good. The energy, the interaction with the fans, the comic value that they brought. So when I saw that they were there again this year, I was like, okay, that has to be one of the bands that we saw. We went to him, stood at the gate thing. They had a guy, two guys, three guys, I think actually, dressed up as beer, just because, and chugging drinks, and then they complained about cannibalism. I just need. Sorry, I'm being distracted by a wire. That's alright. Complained about cannibalism because he drank beer. It was fantastic. Honestly, if you guys go to Slam Dunk, you have to see Zebrahead because they just. Whereas everybody else, I'm trying to think the best way to describe it. Okay, so we saw counterparts just before them, and their energy was, headbanging, fucking run around, hit each other. These guys' energy was just positive vibes. Like, they just lifted the spirits of anybody who heard them. I'm sure there was. I mean, some guy was just behind me. He threw up everywhere. He didn't give a fuck. He was just enjoying the show. He just carried on. Like, so, Zebrahead for me was the best. My third highlight, now this was a personal one, was Paris. I thought the energy that they put out into the arena was fantastic. Fantastic. Oh my god, look at this guy. All it says is fantastic. I'm going to leave that in so that people can laugh at me. Basically, their energy was wow. Like, wow. Wow. I was not expecting a mosh pit for Paris. If people have listened to Paris songs, would you mosh pit? Would you expect a mosh pit for them? No. I wouldn't personally. And yet here it was. The energy that they put. Bearing in mind that Zebrahead had already given, I can guarantee that most of the crowd who saw them must have been from Zebrahead because the positivity there was amazing. Apart from me getting elbowed in the chest where I already had a bruise from somebody biting me. Thank you. Other than that, it was just fantastic. I won't say they're the best band I've ever seen, but because that would have to be Mastodon. But worth a watch if you get the chance to see them. Please go see them. And fucking hell, she is talented as fuck. Not only is she fit as fuck, but she's talented as fuck. I mean, she played drums, guitar, piano, the electrical systemy thing. Like, I think the only person who plays that much sort of shit is Dave Grohl. So yeah, that's my Slam Dunk review. Go. You have to go. If you don't go, you're wasting your time. You're wasting my time. You're wasting Prime Minister's time. Although, like, she's probably wasting her time herself. Okay, so we've had two topics. And I'm wearing a football shirt. And it's in the news constantly. So how about we talk about Karius and the Champions League final? So, as I watched it, I thought, Karius, what are you doing? What are you doing, you muppet? I probably felt the exact same rage as everybody else. I was a Liverpool fan. Then obviously this week, we've had the speculation that he might have been concussed. And everyone's going, oh well, everyone who isn't a Liverpool fan, is going, oh, why didn't he come off then? Why? Look at it this way. You're in a Champions League final, alright? And this goes for the Mo Salah thing as well about Ramos saying, oh, if he'd got an injection, he could have carried on. Okay, you're in a Champions League final. Are you going to want to go off in a Champions League final? No, you're not. So Mo Salah, as everyone now knows, has actually had an actual injury. Which, but oh, get off the pitch. No. This is the bright moment. Alright, Champions League final, I would think, is more popular than the World Cup final. Or European Cup final. I think it's the biggest competition of football in the world. Why would you want to go off for it? You wouldn't. So, I'm going to put this whole debate to bed right here, right now, by saying this. To Liverpool fans, guys, unfortunately, we lost. Oh, God.
Can you throw me another one?
Yeah, sure. Okay, let's make this quick. We lost. Karius may have been at fault. He may have been injured. But the matter of fact is, we got to a Champions League final against Real Madrid. Now, if these things hadn't have happened and Mo Salah was still on the pitch and Karius hadn't been concussed, would we have still have lost? I believe so, yes. Not because I'm not a true fan, but because they would have found some other way to win that game. Because they have the experience to do so. So it's sad that we didn't win, but at the same time, we got there. Did any other England team make it this far? No. We were the only English team in the semi-final. We knocked out the only other English team in the quarter-final. Why should we complain? Think about the profit that we have made as a club. The status that has grown as a club. I mean, yes, Emre Can's left for Juventus. He's left the most competitive league. He's left a team that is improving for a team that's, yes, at its best, winning Serie A or whatever every season. But has it got that competitive edge? Are they did they get to the Champions League final? No. So it's up to them. I think he's made a mistake there, but anyway, guys, my grandma keeps shouting me to get this tea towel, so I'm going to leave it there. I hope you guys have enjoyed this episode of What You Chatting. I'm going to get on at my good friend Crazy Blocks to get in next week's episode or the week after. Until next time, adios, muchachos.